patriotic. It's everything to the extreme. You know, the most unhealthy food, the most healthy food, the biggest, you know, everything like that. It's got a lot to do with the flag and patriotism and America being the best country in the world and all that, and freedom.
American culture shares a lot of similarities with British culture due to British immigrants being a huge part of the American demographic. However, the heavy religious component that the immigrants brought with them, along with the contributions of all the previous colonies of America, even so, it still evolved as time has gone by, making it distinct from all its individual influences.
British culture is being proud of your country. Some Brits play up to the British culture thing and being like, if I was to define like the most British thing, it would probably be going to the pub with your mate and having a pint and then coming back and watching like something on BBC or something. Oh, and listening to like Queen at the pub.
Britain's large amount of history. I believe it has quite a deep, complex culture, and even throughout the country, the culture changes from place to place with the people. So British culture is an overgeneralization and isn't really a reliable.
Belonging to me is when something is in its rest state, or its least obstructed or disturbed state.
Your sense of belonging is often tied to things like your family, where you grew up, where the majority of your friends are.
An American's first 20 thoughts about me will be that I'm British. I don't get offended when someone criticises my country, which is a common thing amongst Americans. I was told not to do that whilst here, and I have done it sometimes, and it has offended. Has travelling changed who you are fundamentally? Yes, it is, but like living here has been definitely broadened the mind and allowed me to see a different culture, which is different from the British culture.
I do not feel that travelling has changed who I am fundamentally, but it has challenged, and I have changed some of my opinions as a result of it.
American culture is the same as British culture in every way, except for every single way that it's the same, it's ever so slightly different. Like an American shows their patriotism by having a flag. A Brit shows their patriotism by like paying to the NHS.
Compared to an American, I'm very similar. The only difference is that I grew up in a different country with a slightly different social climate, but the end result is pretty much the same.
I also don't think the American dream exists. I think it's just a dream that Americans say is an American dream. The American dream could just as well be the English dream or the French dream or the Swedish dream. It's just that a lot of people would say the American dream, when really what they mean is a dream in a free country, of which there is more than just America.
My American experience has obviously been quite different from theirs, but it also helps highlight the benefits and consequences of the American ideology. I believe in it, and they do not. I do not know if that's simply because they have traveled more outside of the US than I have, or because I have been exposed to the American way of living for my entire life. I like to believe that our American dream is unique and achievable. I think it's what makes our country special, and what has drawn people to it for decades. I think the American experience and the proud patriotism of our people is what makes life in America worth living, and that is what it has done for me.